Los Angeles in the early 90s was powered by pagers. Beepers blinked on sunset. Phones rang in valet lines. Assistants spoke in code. The whole town lived on speed and secrecy, and a 20-something named Heidi Fleiss figured out how to sell both. She didn't invent the business. She just read the moment. Cash only. First names, no paper trail, call me from a payphone. It worked so well that the day the handcuffs clicked, half the city suddenly forgot how to answer. Heidi started small, then fast. She learned the etiquette and price points from the old guard, then modernized the operation like a boutique agency. Same-day bookings, pre-screened clients, a roster with rules. Her value wasn't just introductions, it was discretion. If you were important enough, you didn't dial. Your office did. If there was a problem, a fixer handled it before anybody wrote a report. But Los Angeles loves a whisper, and whispers grow teeth. Vice started listening, so did the DEA and reporters who knew to sit on a tip until it was worth a Sunday A section. When the arrest finally landed in 1993, it hit like an earthquake with no epicenter. The tabloids wanted names, news desks wanted charges, lawyers wanted silence. That's where the burying began. Not a grand conspiracy, just 100 tiny decisions that all pointed the same way. Make it a Heidi story, not a client story. Publicists issued the non-denial denial. Studio flacks begged editors to keep rumors off the page. Attorneys fought over what could be discovered and what never needed to be asked. The goal wasn't to prove anything about anyone else. The goal was to keep the camera on the Hollywood madam so it didn't wander into living rooms with seven-figure deals on the coffee table. The courtroom timeline mattered too. In 1994, a Los Angeles jury convicted Heidi on 3 pandering counts, hung on 2, acquittal on a cocaine count. 2 years later, May 1996, an appeals court threw out that state conviction for juror misconduct and sent it back for a new trial. Meanwhile, the feds had their own case. In 1995, a federal jury found her guilty of conspiracy, tax offenses, and money laundering. On January 8, 1997, a judge handed down 37 months. She served roughly 20 months before transitioning to a halfway house in November 1998. That mix, a tossed state verdict and a firm federal sentence, helped the town do what it does best: compartmentalize, let the courts handle her, the thinking went, and let the rest fade. When a famous actor's name did surface, it was because there was a record to cite. Charlie Sheen testified by video that he'd hired from her operation more than 24 times and spent a little over $50,000. Beyond that, the legendary Black Book mostly stayed a legend. Phone numbers might exist. A few did make it into evidence, but no official comprehensive client roster ever landed in the public domain. Rumor kept its crown. Paper did not. Why push so hard to keep it that way? Because in this town, image is capital and paper is liability. A headline stings, a document destroys, a beeper code matched to a date when someone was on set. That's not gossip, that's leverage. Leverage wrecks release calendars, voids morals clauses, scares insurers, and gets pulled into divorce court. The safest move for everyone with real money on the line was simple. Isolate the scandal to one person. Let her be the headline. Keep the books closed. Strip away the strategy, and there's still the human part. Heidi built something the market wanted and the law forbids. She played it bold, and when it collapsed, she took the fall. She did time. She tried reinvention, birds in the desert, rehab, reality TV, interviews where she sounded alternately defiant and exhausted. The empire didn't come back. The story did, because the story wasn't just about her. It was about a city built on managed appearances. It was about how quickly powerful people reach for silence when receipts might exist. It was about the gap between what everybody knows at dinner and what a judge will let you say on the record. And it was about gender and framing. Call it a madam scandal, and you can keep the buyers blurry. Call it a buyer's market, and you have to talk about the men who made the calls. Walk past those hedged-in estates now and it feels like ancient history, a glossy tabloid summer that the industry outgrew. But the muscle memory remains. Crisis teams learned to move faster. Protective language got tighter. Everyone rehearsed how to quarantine a name while keeping a premiere date. The next time a list hovered over the boulevard, the machine snapped to attention like it had been training for it, because it had. So why did the Hollywood elite try to bury the Heidi Fleiss story? Because the scandal threatened more than reputations. It threatened process. Who gets access? Who holds leverage? How careers survive? In a town where privacy is currency and exposure is bankruptcy, the cleanest solution was to let one woman carry the narrative while everyone else stepped out of frame. And Los Angeles, being Los Angeles, went back to work on Monday, phones buzzing, calendars packed, and one more reminder tucked away behind the hedges. Secrets are safe until there's a record.